All right, so are you ready for this? We're diving deep into the mystery that is Crow, and honestly, his story is like one giant question mark.
Yeah, it's like someone took a puzzle, scattered the pieces across a maze, and then handed us like a half-ripped treasure map.
And we're supposed to find the hidden treasure with just this Tangled Web document, right? And like a handful of rumors.
Exactly, precisely. But honestly, that's what makes this whole thing so interesting. It's not really about finding every single answer right. It's more about exploring the questions. Like, who is Crow? Like, who is he beneath all that mystery?
And more importantly, like, why do the Scorn, those creepy, relentless enemies, why do they call him, father?
Yeah,
It's enough to send chills down your spine just thinking about it.
yeah. It's a huge, huge red flag,
Yeah.
especially with what we know about the Scorn.
Right.
Like, they're creatures of pure darkness, right? And Crow, he's a Lightbearer, resurrected by his ghost Glint. So the very idea of a connection there, it feels wrong.
Yeah. Which is where we need to rewind a bit, I guess, for those who
Yeah.
might not be, totally familiar with this whole guardian ghost thing. Like, in this world, you don't just die and stay dead.
You get a second chance thanks to these beings of pure white.
Mhm.
They're called ghosts. And they search the cosmos looking for their chosen person, and they bring them back. And they give them incredible powers and a purpose
Yeah.
to protect the last city.
But Crow, he's got amnesia, right? He doesn't even remember his first life. A tangled web describes him like waking up, confused, injured, with Glint as his only companion. Imagine having no past, no identity, just this strange being telling you that you're destined for greatness.
And that's where Glint's like unwavering faith becomes so important. You see the bond between a guardian and their ghost. It's unlike anything else. It's built on trust, on this shared destiny. But Crow, he's starting from zero. He needs Glint's faith, even if he doesn't fully understand it yet.
Yeah, it's like Glint is saying, I see something in you, even if you don't see it in yourself yet. Which makes their whole dynamic, it makes it especially fascinating, especially considering, all the manipulation that Crow ends up facing later on.
Exactly, because this vulnerability, this searching for answers, it attracts the wrong kind of attention. And enter stage left. Spider.
Oh, Spider. Let's just say this guy wouldn't offer you a glass of water if there wasn't something in it for him.
Yeah, to call him ambitious would be a serious understatement. He's built an entire empire, and it's on this foundation of favors and threats and just knowing exactly where to apply pressure.
Yeah.
He sees Crow's potential, sure, but more importantly, he sees someone that he can easily exploit.
And Spider's not exactly subtle about it either. He gives Crow shelter, a purpose, sends him on these dangerous missions, but it always comes with a price. It's that classic line, I helped you, now you owe me.
But to be fair to Crow, he proves himself to be incredibly capable. Like we see it in the way he fights the Scorn,
Yeah.
how he handles himself in these impossible situations.
He's clearly a skilled warrior, even without his memories. But that just makes all those whispers about his past, it makes them all the more unsettling. Like we see these other characters and they react to him with this mix of fear and disgust, like they know something that he doesn't.
It's like he's carrying this invisible weight, this darkness that precedes him, and that darkness it isn't just it isn't just metaphorical. It's also literal, right? In the form of the Scorn. We can't forget that chilling moment when they call him, wait, no.
Father, yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get back to that. But first, we need to talk about another crucial encounter: Crow and Deruis.
Because this is where the cracks in Crow's carefully constructed identity, this is where they start to show. He meets Druis, and she's another Awoken like him, and she recognizes something about him.
And it's not a nice to see you again kind of recognition, though, is it?
No, not at all. It's more like she's seen a ghost.
Yeah.
But like a very unwelcome one. It throws Crow for a loop, makes him question, everything Spider has told him.
You can feel the tension building, right? Crow, he's stuck between a rock and a hard place. On the one hand, he's got Spider, this manipulative figure who holds all the cards, and on the other, he's got these unsettling glimpses into a past he can't even remember.
It's a testament to Spider's skill as a manipulator.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, Master Manipulator is starting to feel overused, but honestly, it fits Spider like a glove.
It really does, doesn't it? He picks up on Crow's unease, his desperation for answers, and instead of, offering any genuine support, he uses it. dangles these little bits of information, almost like a reward for obedience.
Or maybe more like a threat. Like step out of line and you'll never know the truth. Because that's the thing about secrets, right? They hold power, especially over someone who can't remember their own past.
And that's where we get into the really dark side of Spider's control. He discovers that Crow met with Druis. Remember that encounter? The one that left Crow, like, shaken?
Oh, yeah. The one where they were both pretending not to recognize each other. Yeah, Spider's not going to let that one slide.
He doesn't. And his solution, like, it sends chills down my spine just thinking about it. He decides to modify Glint.
Wait, modify how? You mean like give him a software update or something?
If only? No, Spider, he takes it to a whole other level. He implants a device in Glint, essentially turning Crow's own ghost into a bomb.
You're kidding. He can just detonate Glint whenever he wants.
That's the idea. It's a fail-safe, Spider calls it, a way to ensure Crow's loyalty.
But Glint, that's like attacking a part of Crow himself. They're partners, they're bonded in this really profound way.
Exactly. And that's the truly chilling part, right? Yeah. It's not just about controlling Crow's, actions. It's about controlling his very essence. It's about reminding him who holds the power, who dictates the terms of his existence. And
we see Crow break in a way we haven't before. He's not just afraid, he's broken.
Yeah.
This isn't the confident, gunslinger we've seen him grow into.
He clings to Glint, whispering, "We're all we have." And it's a gut punch of a line, because in that moment, Crow isn't a weapon or a pawn or even a guardian. He's just alone, clinging to the only source of unconditional love he has left.
And this is where a Tangled Web really, really gets to me. It forces you to ask, like, what are the limits of control? Like, when does mentorship become manipulation?
Right, because on the surface, Spider tries to frame it as protection. Right. Tells Crow the world is a dangerous place, that he needs this failsafe to survive.
But come on, we all know it's about power. Spider would rather have a broken Crow than risk losing his leverage.
It's tragic, and it makes you think, if someone like Crow with his strength, his resilience can be broken like this, what hope does anyone have against someone like Spider?
That's a heavy question, and I'm not sure we have a good answer, but there are glimmers of hope, right? Even in the darkness.
There are, and in this case it's Glint who offers it.
Which considering what Spider just did to him is really saying something. I mean, Glint has this literal bomb inside him, right? Courtesy of Spider. And he still just wants what's best for Crow.
Yeah, it really speaks volumes about the kind of bond they have, this fierce loyalty that Crow feels. It's not just returned, it's mirrored, right back at him by Glint.
And it's not a blind loyalty either. Glint sees the good in Crow, but he also sees the turmoil, the doubt, and instead of like shying away from it, he leans in.
There's a moment in a Tangled Web where Glint actually tells Crow, he's like, he doesn't need to be a guardian to be, worthy of love.
Yeah.
To have a purpose.
Wow. He's basically giving Crow permission to just walk away. To choose a different path, even if it means losing their connection.
That's the thing about true selflessness. It often requires letting go. And Glint, even with this ticking time bomb inside him, he understands that.
But Crow, he just can't bring himself to leave. He might not remember his past, but he knows what loyalty feels like. He's lived it, breathed it ever since waking up with Glint by his side.
Which is both his saving grace and his biggest burden.
Yeah.
Right? Because that same loyalty that binds him to Glint, it also binds him to Spider. At least for now.
So we're left with this agonizing question. What happens next? Will he find a way to break free from Spider's control? Will he ever uncover the truth about his past?
And sadly, a Tangled Web, it doesn't give us those answers. Yeah. It leaves us with Crow, caught in this web of secrets and manipulation.
Well, his future uncertain.
A classic cliffhanger. But that's part of what makes this story so compelling, don't you think? It's messy, it's complicated, and it really stays with you,
Yeah.
Like long after you put the document down, Exactly, and that's what we try to capture in this deep dive. It's not about giving you this neat and tidy summary. It's about exploring the nuances, right? The unanswered questions, the what ifs.
Like what if Crow embraces the darkness, right? The darkness that seems to follow him. What if he turns against Spider, risking everything for a chance at freedom?
We can speculate, we can speculate all day, but ultimately those answers, they're for Crow to find.
And for you, dear listener, to ponder. Because that's the beauty of a story like this, right? It doesn't just end when you reach the last page. It lingers, it sparks like conversations. It makes you question everything you thought you knew.
So as you navigate your own tangled webs
Yeah.
in life, remember Crow's story. Remember the complexities of loyalty, the seductive nature of power, and the unwavering hope that can bloom even in the darkest of places.
Beautifully said. And on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the enigmatic world of Crow. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and most importantly, keep those theories coming.